Heroes Comic Shop, Helselson's, Hilliard Corporation, Howard Hanna, Jubilee Foods, Just in Time, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, Ma's Cheese Dreams.
Live from Sal Maglie Stadium in Niagara Falls, New York, it's once again time for Elmira Pioneers baseball as your Pios get set to take on the Niagara Falls Americans in Game 2 of a doubleheader. Good afternoon, everybody, for the Pioneers Baseball Network. I'm Farrell Hudson. We'll have all your live coverage as Aiden Grabowski, the shortstop, digs in. Aiden continues to remain hot in the opening ball game today for Grabowski. 1 for 3, very well could have been 2 for 3, and he leads off with a single right here into center field on a bounce. Playing it on a hop and throwing it back in is Moore. So a leadoff single on the first pitch of Game 2 of the doubleheader. Pioneers took a 3-0 victory in game number 1 behind stellar pitching on the bump from Bobby Boying, and then coming in was Bryce Mashanik for 2 innings of no-run ball. So Grabowski's off of first base with nobody out. Another hit for him he continues to remain hot. It'll be Cooper Smith, the right fielder, to step to the dish. Righty-on-righty matchup. Kicking and firing is Ondas for a called strike 1 over the inside corner. 0-1 the count to Smith. Mentioned John Ondas, 1-0 with a 5.25 ERA. It's his third start, fourth appearance. Ondas has pitched 12 innings, 10 runs, 7 earned, 10 walks and 11 strikeouts, delivers low and away. 1-1 the count to Cooper Smith. Just underway here in game number 2. In game number 1, Pioneers won on 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors, stranded 3 runners left on base. Niagara had no runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and 8 runners left on base. Fastball at the knees. Smith takes for a called strike 2. 1-2 the count with nobody out, just underway in game number 2. For Smith to open up the 2025 season. 3-11 across 15 games. Grabowski takes off. Breaking ball outside. Throw to second base. It hits Grabowski and trickles away from the shortstop position. Grabowski will stay there in shallow left field. It's retrieved out by Guzaldo, who is covering behind Huang. Or check that. Connor Kiefer covering second base. Ian Huang getting the start in game 1 at the second base position for the Americans. It's Connor Kiefer. Grabowski batting .403, 25 hits, team leader in that category. 5 doubles tied for the team lead with John Simmons. A homer and 12 RBIs. 1064 OPS for Grabowski, who lines one off of past his catcher's gear and foul to the backstop. 0-1 the count on TJ. Grabowski's off of third. Smith off of first. Nobody out. Top of the first. Pio's looking to draw first blood for a second consecutive ball game. Elmira snapped their 4-game losing skid in game 1 with a shutout victory. Breaking ball drills Grabowski in the back. Bases are loaded for the Pios with nobody out. So Elmira will take it as Ondas has gotten the bases loaded with no one out. It's Michael Palmer, 6 RBIs on the season for Mike. Check that, 7 RBIs, an RBI sac fly in game 1. Granted a smaller sample size, but a 964 OPS for Palmer across 10 ball games, 29 plate appearances, to go along with a very formidable 982 field percentage in the field, primarily at the first base position. Breaking ball, backdoor catches the outside corner for a called strike 1. So 0-1 the count with nobody out. Grabowski leads off a third, Smith off a second, and Grabowski is off a first. Righty and lefty matchup. Palmer looking to get the Pioneers on the board. Ondas kicks and fires from the right side of the rubber, and the fastball misses high and away. 1-1 the count. Just underway here in Game 2 of the doubleheader. One of 2 doubleheaders the Pioneers will play here at Sal Maglie Stadium. They'll be back here in 13 days on Saturday, July 12th for a doubleheader. Here's a high fly ball to deep center field. Going back on his horse is Moore. He'll settle under it. He'll make the catch. Grabowski tags and comes to the plate. Smith advances to third. Another sac fly off the bat of Palmer. He's now has 8 RBIs on the season. Grabowski comes in to score. Runners on the corners with 1 out. And Elmira leads 1-0 in the top of the first inning. So 1 out and a run home for Elmira in the inning. Smith's up to third. Grabowski crosses the plate. Grimesti remains on first with a medium-sized lead. With one out, RBI sac fly, and here's the lefty swinging Anthony Manganiello, who takes a fastball outside from Ondas, the count 1-0. Manganiello getting the start in left field for the Pioneers. You saw him behind the plate in Game 1. A .231 batting average for Anthony, a strong on-base percentage of .396, 9 hits, 2 extra base hits, and 12 RBIs. 1-0 to Manganiello, fastball off the outside edge, 2-0. Pioneers have done well against the Americans so far this year. Americans are only one of 2 teams the Pioneers are undefeated against, ironically enough. Niagara at the top of the PGCBL West Division, a 14-8 record. 14-6 when they don't play Elmira. Fly ball to deep center field. Going back is Moore. He settles under it, makes the catch. Tagging and coming to the plate is Cooper Smith. Back-to-back sac flies. And the Pios now lead 2-0 in the top of the first. So 2 consecutive sac flies. Small ball getting the job done for Elmira, as both Grabowski and Smith, who led off the game in back-to-back at-bats with a single, come in to score. That'll bring up Brendan Hammer in the 6-hole. Righty-on-righty matchup with Ondas. Grimesti off of first, and 2 runs home for Elmira on 2 hits in the inning with 2 outs. Grimesti takes off. High fastball and just a bluff from the catcher passed as he couldn't get it out of his glove, bobbled it. It's a stolen base for Grimesti. He advances into scoring position. Brett Baker awaits on deck. Baker reached base in his first 2 plate appearances. Pinch hitting last night for the Pioneers, the University of Massachusetts Dartmouth Corsair. Gets a start in center field this afternoon for the Pioneers. Had an RBI single last night. Grimesti takes off for third. High fastball. Throw down to third. Not in time. Grimesti gets in ahead of the tag. Another stolen base. 2 in the inning for TJ, and he's 90 feet away. So the Pioneers will take it. A 2-0 count with 2 outs. Top of the first inning. Elmira leads 2-0. Next offering inside to Hammer. 3-0 the count. Ondas kicks and fires. Fastball just north of the letters. Hammer takes for ball 4, a 4-pitch walk. So here comes Brett Baker. A strong start for him. He'll look to keep it going with runners on the corners and 2 outs. It's Grimesti off of third. Hammer off of first. Runners on the corners for Elmira as Brett Baker, the 7th batter of the inning. Brendan on the season, 1 stolen base. Fastball outside from Ondas. 1-0 the count to Baker. 500 batting average, only across 2 plate appearances. Talking a very small sample size, but Baker making his presence felt, joined the team on Thursday. A strong career at UMass Dartmouth so far across a couple seasons as he awaits the 1-0. Fastball catches the letters for a called strike. So 1-1 the count with 2 outs. 2 runs on 2 hits home in the top of the first for Elmira. They won game 1 of this doubleheader 3-0. Pioneers are 7-2 through 9 ball games across 5 overall doubleheader days. They seem to thrive in this element. They'll look to continue to do in the bottom of the first inning as a fastball over the outer third taken for a called strike 2 from Baker. 1-2 the count with 2 outs. Ondas looking for his ender. Mentioned a bit of a higher ERA for the Niagara right-hander, who looks to escape the inning without any further trouble. Breaking ball swung on and missed for Baker for strike 3. It's dropped by the catcher, passed as Grimesti comes in. The throw to first in time to get Niagara out of the jam. In the inning, 2 runs and 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Elmira leads 2-0 here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Niagara Falls. Pioneers lead 2-0 as we head to the home half of the first inning. Pioneers have taken the field behind their starting pitcher. It's Tyler Hodella, the right-handed pitcher out of Miller Place, New York. 20 years old at 6'2", 220 pounds. Most recently spending time in the NCAA Division II CACC with the University of Bridgeport, so some familiarity, teammates with Gio Valerio and Liam O'Neill. He comes and joins the Pioneers. Last summer, spent time with Mohawk Valley, pitching to a 1.93 ERA across 11 games, 1 start, primarily in relief. 18 2/3 innings of work, only 4 earned runs to his name, 9 walks and 20 strikeouts. A good high leverage arm that the Pioneers look to utilize. Let's take you through the Niagara Falls Americans starting lineup. The 14-8 Americans led by Paul Wolf. It's Grant Moore, the center fielder, to lead things off, followed by Evan Core, the right fielder, Nick Pass, the catcher, top third, Gismondi, Guzaldo, and Miller in the middle third, Rayleigh, Kiefer, Ramos, 7-8-9, and Satinoff, the EH, batting 10th. Squaring to bunt, drawing it back and taking a strike over the outside corner is Grant Moore, 0-1 the count to the Niagara center fielder. Moore digging in from the left side, a .469 batting average across 19 ball games. A really scorching hot OPS of 1192, and that's going to go up as he lines that into right field for a base hit. It's going to bounce over the head of Cooper Smith and gets away. Baker fields it, and he'll fire in, and it's a leadoff triple for Grant Moore. The tying run comes to the plate. Niagara's first run of the game now 90 feet away, as what was just an innocent looper off the end of the bat into shallow right field took a high bounce all the way past Cooper Smith. The turf like a trampoline here at Sal Magley Stadium, and the fortuitous bounce plays to Niagara Falls' advantage. Moore with a leadoff triple. Runner on third with nobody out. Here in the home half of the first, Elmira with a 2-0 lead, and a rude greeting for Ty Hodella in his second pitch as an Elmira Pioneer. He'll deal with Evan Core, the right fielder. Righty-on-righty matchup. Kicking and firing is Hodella, and the fastball misses low and inside, takes a bounce. A nice stop from the catcher, Wagner, 1-0 the count. So for the Pioneers, they score 2 runs on 2 hits at the top of the first. No errors for Niagara. Elmira strands 2 runners on base. Hayden Grabowski and Cooper Smith doing more of their usual thing. Grabowski getting on per usual. That top 3 in the order, just dynamite. Between Grabowski, Smith, and Grabowski, there's not enough good things that can be said. They all complement one another incredibly well. That triangular trio, so effective and dominant for the Pioneers, and astute fielders as well. Some of the most natural athletes on the Elmira team. A line drive snared by the shortstop, Grabowski, on the backhand side. Nice play from Aiden for out number 1. So Core lines out, and with 1 out, and a runner on third in the bottom of the first, that'll bring up the catcher, Nick Past. Past batting .250 across 11 ball games on the season. 9 hits, a triple, and 5 RBIs. Solid .391 on-base percentage. A near .700 OPS. Pioneers will play back to get the out and surrender a run. A 2-run lead for Hodella with 1 out in the bottom of the first as Ty kicks and fires, and the fastball clips the outside corner for a called strike 1 to Past. Oh, 1 offering. Hodella working quickly and delivers a fastball. Wagner receives in the left-hander's batter's box. The count goes to 1-1. 2 runs on 2 hits and no errors for the Pioneers in the top of the first. No runs on 1 hit and no errors for the Americans. Bottom of the first inning with 1 out. Hodella kicks and fires, and that squirts away from the catcher, Wagner. Coming to the plate is Moore, and he will score on the pass ball from Wagner. So Niagara's on the board. It's going to be scored a wild pitch, a run home on a hit in the inning, and Niagara now makes it 2-1. So the bases are empty and a 2-1 count to the catcher, Past. Past did not appear in game 1. Scored 10 runs on the season. 1 stolen base on the season as well for him, as he rolls one on the ground deep in the hole. Shortstop Grabowski fields to his forehand side, fires, and it's just not be able to pick by Palmer, and it goes down the right field line. Wagner is going to retrieve as he was following past up the baseline, so that's going to be likely an E6 on the shortstop Grabowski. Yes, it is. Past moves into scoring position. 1 out here in the home half of the first. More likely that would be an E3 on Palmer because it took a bounce, skipped by him. Grabowski did all that he could to the backhand side. Palmer, a really good defensive fielder for the Pioneers, too. Unable to pick that one. Very tough hop, in fairness to Mike. Righty and lefty matchup, it's Derek Jesmondi, the left fielder, to settle in against Hodella. Jesmondi, a pop-up third base side, a long run for Brendan Hammer. He gives it a look, and it trickles out into the stands on a bounce. 0-1 the count. Hodella, in his 2025 season, a 6.15 ERA. Little bit of a high runs allowed per 9. Just south of 7.5 across 33 2/3 innings of work. 23 earned runs, 18 walks, and 26 strikeouts. 0-1. Inside corner, fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike 2. So 0-2 the count to Jesmondi with 1 out. Elmira leading Niagara 2-1 in the back end of this 2-game twin bill from Sal Magley Stadium in Niagara Falls, New York. Hodella comes set from the stretch position. Right side of the rubber kicks and fires the 0-2. And the changeup misses low, 1-2 the count. Jesmondi batting .091 across 10 games. 10 games played in, 7 games started. 4 hits, 2 doubles, and 2 RBIs. He's got one in scoring position for him now in pass, who reached on the error. Throwing error from Grabowski to Palmer. Chops one third base side foul out of the extended reach of Hammer. Moot point regardless. So the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hodella making his first start as an Elmira Pioneer. Pioneers got some great pitching in Game 1 like we alluded to. Bobby Boying was phenomenal. Only 4 hits, no earned runs, 3 walks, no strikeouts. That's what Coach Drum mentioned. He's a contact pitcher. But that contact was working for outs today. Doing his thing for the Pioneers, and Bobby earning his first win of the season. Bryce Mashanik continues to be outstanding in relief, as missing low and away with a fastball is Hodella. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count to the left-handed hitting Jesmondi. Hodella, one stare at second, kicks and fires. A line drive into left center field. That's going to drop down for a base hit, and that's going to tie the ball game up. Past rounds third, he'll come to the plate and score. It goes all the way to the wall. Fielding it is Baker. He's going to fire in, and it's a stand-up triple for Jesmondi. The second triple of the inning. 2 hits and 2 runs home in either side of the first inning, and the Americans have tied the ball game up at 2 here in the home half of the first. So here comes Chris Guzaldo, batting .364 across 16 ball games. 20 hits, a double, and 8 RBIs. He bats from the right side. Pioneers play the infield back with 1 out. They'll sacrifice a run for an out, which would mean they'd trail by 1. 2-2 the score in the bottom of the first inning, as Hodella misses away with a breaking ball. 1-0 the count to Guzaldo. Ty comes set, rocks and fires. Breaking ball just north of the letters. 2 balls and no strikes with 1 out. So a couple nice hits as Grant Moore lines one to right field. It skips over the head of Cooper Smith. He gets all the way to third to lead off the ball game. Next offering is a pop-up first base side. Palmer giving it a long run, and he just runs out of room. It goes into foul ground out of play. 1-2 the count. 2 runs on 2 hits and 1 error for the Pioneers. 2 runs on 2 hits and no errors for the Niagara Falls Americans. Third matchup of the season between both squads. Elmira ahead in the season series 2-0. Pioneers taking a game both at Dunfield and earlier today here at Sal Magley Stadium. Next offering, a swing and a miss. 1-2 the count on the Americans' shortstop with 1 out. Left to right in the outfield for Elmira. Manganiello in left, Baker in center, Smith in right. Left to right in the infield, Hammer at third, Grabowski at short, Moniz at second, Palmer at first. 2-2 offering is a changeup off the plate. Count runs full. There is a base to give, but Hodella potentially getting himself into trouble. Should he issue a free pass here, that'll be the 6th batter to come to the plate, with Graydon Miller, right-handed hitting first baseman, patiently awaiting on deck. Ready on ready matchup, payoff pitch is fouled back to the screen. Staying alive is Guzaldo, piecing together a nice at-bat. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hodella deals, and the chopper foul up against the Americans' dugout, out of play. Count remains full. Guzaldo, a .417 on-base percentage, .799 OPS on the season. Only walked twice, 21 total bases, 8 RBIs. He has a ninth out there for him and passed, who's off a third. Or rather, check that. Derek Jesmondi, who had the RBI and triple. Check swing on an inside breaking ball. Guzaldo did not go around. First walk issued of the ball game by Hodella. Runners on the corners with one out. And here comes Graydon Miller. Carl Wagner out to the mound to have a conversation with his right-handed starting pitcher. The Elmira Pioneers would like to thank some of our most loyal sponsors for the 2025 season, including Absolute Care of Three Rivers, AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Sports, Al's Leasing Ann's Pancakes, Blaze Brockway Contracting, and Buckley's Automotive. Bottom of the first inning, 2 runs home for both sides in each half of the opening stanza. Pioneers scored 2 runs in the top of the first, courtesy of Grabowski and Smith, leading off the ball game with consecutive singles. Gramesti got plunked. Bases were loaded with no one out. Palmer a sac fly to deep center, which got Smith over to third. Manganiello follows it up with a sac fly of his own. Hammers retired to end the top of the first, so the Pioneers sent 6 batters to the plate. Now 6 batters to the plate for Niagara in the home half, and a ground ball to Grabowski. Backhanded in the hole. He can't come up with the play. It's going to go down as an infield hit. Coming to the plate and scoring is Jesmondi. Guzaldo advances to second. Third hit of the inning on an RBI infield single for Miller, and Niagara Falls leads 3-2. So a bit of a tougher bottom of the first inning than the Pioneers would have liked. 3-2 Niagara leads with 1 out. 3 runs on 3 hits. Through a third of an inning against Ty Hodella. High chopper to Grabowski. Fields it, throws to second just in time to nab Graydon Miller. Guzaldo advances to third on a 6-4 fielder's choice. Rayleigh reaches. So the Americans' designated hitter is off of first. First and third, it remains with 2 outs. Pioneers trail by 1. And Hodella will look for his ender here in the form of the right-handed hitting second baseman, Connor Kiefer. Kiefer takes a brief moment to collect himself and now gathers himself in the right-hander's batter's box. Hodella comes set from the left side of the rubber, out of the stretch position with 2 outs. Rocks and fires, breaking ball inside corner, taken for a called strike from the right-handed hitting Kiefer, 0-1. For the second baseman, Kiefer on the season, a .250 batting average, 5 starts across 7 ball games, 20 plate appearances, 5 hits, and 2 RBIs. Runner goes, pitch inside, and it drills Connor Kiefer. So Rayleigh was going to steal second. He advances, a hit batsman. So the bases are loaded for the Americans with 2 outs. It's Guzaldo off a third, Rayleigh off a second, Kiefer off a first, and here comes the right-handed hitting third baseman, Alan Ramos. Ramos batting .200 across 7 ball games, 5 hits and 3 RBIs. Pioneers will look to get out of the bottom of the first inning any more unscathed. Righty-on-righty matchup. As Hodella comes set, left side of the rubber, kicks and delivers. Change up off the outside edge. Wagner had to stab it in the lefty batter's box. 1-0 the count. Mentioned Wagner getting the start behind the plate tonight, a .971 fielding percentage for Elmira. 1-0, fastball outside corner taken letter high for a called strike from Ramos. 1-1 the count with 2 out. 3 home in the bottom of the first for Niagara Falls. They take a 3-2 lead. Pressing here for more against the right-hander Ty Hodella, making his debut for Elmira. 1-1 with 2 outs, fastball lined foul back to the screen from Ramos, 1-2. We appreciate you spending part of your Sunday afternoon with us here on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network, an audio-only broadcast. Apologies for the technology difficulty, but Pioneers are looking to take the back end of the doubleheader. 2 of their 4 doubleheaders they've gone 1-1 in. The culprit is Pioneers winning both those games, both those doubleheaders, shall I say, the opening game, and losing the back end. Could be in danger of that here. Still early on, though. Only not even an inning in. 2-2 the count to Ramos, or 1-2. This one on the ground to first. Gets past Palmer into right field for a base hit. Coming in to score is Guzaldo. Rayleigh right behind him. A 2-run single off the bat of Ramos, and it's now 5-2 Americans here in the bottom of the first. So both Guzaldo and Rayleigh coming to score. Advancing to third is Kiefer. And batting around against Hodella in the bottom of the first are the Niagara Falls Americans. It's Jack Satinoff, the extra hitter, to step to the dish from the left side. 5-2, Americans lead. Runners on the corners. Yes. With 2 out. Hodella still working out of the stretch with Ramos off at first. He's got a 12-foot lead, and he takes off. Fastball low. Throw down to second from Wagner is high. Grabowski's got a fire coming to the plate. The tag applied in time to get the Pioneers out of the bottom of the inning. So Kiefer nabbed attempting to steal home plate. He doesn't do it, so 5 runs on 4 hits, an error, and 2 runners left on base. We've played an inning here at Sal Magley Stadium. Niagara Falls ahead 5-2 here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. The Elmira Pioneers would like to thank AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment for being the official motorsport provider for your back-to-back West Division champion, Elmira Pioneers, South Main Street in Mansfield, Pennsylvania. Carl Wagner to lead off the top of the second inning with the Pioneers down 5-2. Wagner takes a called strike. 1-1 the count to Carl, batting .227 across 8 starts, 9 ball games on the season. Pioneers bullpen starting to lightly get loose. Good news for Elmira as they have 2 off days, one tomorrow and another one on Tuesday prior to the next ball game. One that'll conclude a 4-game road trip at the Auburn Doubledays on Wednesday night, July 2nd. Start time is 6:30 p.m. We'll have all your coverage on the Pioneers Baseball Network with Pio's pregame live kicking off at 5:55. Next offering to Wagner, tap foul behind home plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to the Pioneers catcher. Pios fans, your back-to-back West Division champion Elmira Pioneers are back at home this Thursday, July 3rd, against the Auburn Doubledays for fireworks presented by Hilliard and STCF. Doors promptly open 1 hour before first pitch at 5:30. Be sure to call 607-734-2690 for tickets. Wagner awaits a 1-2, and he lines the breaking ball foul down the left field line out of play. So the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Pioneers catcher. Niagara, Elmira surrendered 5 runs on 4 hits in the bottom of the first inning. Ty Hodella making his debut for Elmira this summer. The good news is Hodella was living around the strike zone, consistent with the off speed, but you just give credit to Niagara Falls. Their offense doing a good part, especially after only no runs on 4 hits in Game 1 against 2 Pioneers pitchers combined. 1-2 rolled on the ground to Ramos at third. He's up with it on 3 hops. The throw across the diamond in time to retire Wagner for out number 1 in the inning. So 1 out and the base is empty, and that brings up the right-handed hitting Brandon Dubeck in the DH role this afternoon. Dubeck batting .211 on the season across 19 ball games. Perfect 1,000 fielding percentage for Dubeck as well. As he pops one up behind first base, Miller gives it a look. Now it's the second baseman Kiefer who comes in Connor Kiefer the call on the catch for out number 2. So the play goes P4. Dubek's retired. 2 outs and the base is empty, and that'll bring up the right-handed hitting second baseman Jacob Moniz. Righty and ready matchup with Ondas with 2 outs, and the fastball catches the outside corner letter high for a called strike 1. Ondas cruising through the second so far. Got Wagner on a ground ball into the third baseman Ramos. Then a pop-up to the second baseman Kiefer from the right-handed hitting Dubek. 0-1 offering. Moniz takes low. Pitch bounces in the dirt as Past recovers. 1 on the count. It's Moniz rounding out the batting order. Aiden Grabowski patiently awaits on deck for Elmira. Led off the ball game with a single and came around to score. 1-1 off the outside corner. 2-1 the count. Moniz on the season batting .276 across 10 ball games, 8 hits and 4 RBIs. Solid .371 on base percentage, yet to get it going with the power numbers. No extra base hits for him. Fastball inside, 3 balls and a strike the count. Do you own a business looking for a janitor, supplier, or supplies? Call Vasco Brands and tell them back-to-back West Division champion Elmira Pioneers sent you. The 3-1 offering is outside for ball 4 as Moniz is aboard with 2 outs. First base runner of the inning for the Pioneers.